I say this all the time. Why put off till tomorrow what you can do today? If you start applying it to your life, you will see a drastic change. Because a lot of things that we're just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll probably do it on Friday, a couple days from now. I'll do it next week. Why? If it's really something that you can get done now, something that you can just go and type on your computer, type on your phone, create a little graphic real quick, why not? Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Vibes 365 podcast, where we have productive and stimulating conversations about how to be more mindful in all the areas of your life. I'm your host, Malaysia, and I don't know who feelings this is going to hurt and who needs to hear this today, but you're not struggling in life because you don't have what it takes. You're struggling because you simply just move too slow, okay? Speed is holding you back with all the things that you're looking to do, all the things that you are looking to accomplish. You're simply just moving too slow. You don't execute fast enough. From the amount of time that you have a thought about doing something, it takes you entirely too long to actually get up and get started and start taking action. Before you get all defensive, hear me out. When we talk about success, people always mention habits, distractions, mindset, which is very important when it comes to achieving success. All of that matters, but none of it means anything if you don't know how to move with speed, y'all. Like, some of y'all have the right ideas, you have the right potential, you have the right mindset, you have the right resources to even do the things that you're thinking about doing, but your execution is entirely too slow. You spend way too much time in the thinking stage, the planning stage, the overanalyzation stage. It's taking you too long. And by the time you're ready to act, the opportunity is already gone, okay? I know a lot of people like to say, oh, well, you can never miss what's for you and God wouldn't let that happen. Okay, yes. While I am a believer of that, I also believe that multiple things can be true at one time. And I do believe that when you don't show him that you're being a good steward of the resources that he's giving you, you will miss out on opportunities, okay? And even though his grace is good and he's going to always make sure to provide and bring about other opportunities to you, that has nothing to do with the fact that you will miss out on some stuff, okay? Later on down the line, when things do work out for you, he will show you and have you reflecting on, hey, back then, I probably could have got this done back then if I would have moved this way. I probably could have achieved this or accomplished this if I would have moved just a little bit faster, right? It's not about, you not having the resources or the right timing. Sometimes we really just have to take accountability and say like, hey, I dropped the ball on this. I moved entirely too slow with this thing. If I would have stepped my speed up and stepped the pace up and put some pep in my step, I would have been able to get these things done a lot sooner rather than later. Now, I want to move into the cost of moving slow, okay? The truth is the gap between your thoughts and your actions is way too wide. And I mentioned this, but this is very important because I need you to hear this and understand this. You are living in the thinking about it phase. You live there. You stay there. You can't seem to get out of that. And you think about starting a business. You think about reaching out to the person. You think about applying for this opportunity, this job, whatever the case may be, moving to a new city, but you don't do it. Like, you don't do it fast enough. That's really the thing. It's okay to, think about things, but it's another thing to get stuck in the thinking phase and never actually moving fast enough, because success loves speed. And when I say success, I'm not talking about business and making money. It could be success in your relationship, success in your friendships, success at your job, success at overcoming anxiety and depression, right? There's different forms of success, okay? But here are some of the things that happens when you move too slow, all right? Number one, you talk yourself out of good ideas. How many times have you had the brightest idea, right? Had an idea to pop into your head. You're like, oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. You think about it, you think about it, you think about it, you keep thinking about it, you keep thinking about it, and it never goes any further than that. And by the time you actually want to do something with this idea, you've already talked yourself out of it because you took too long to think about it, right? Instead of taking action, instead of acting on this idea, instead of digging deeper deeper and starting the preliminary steps to whatever this idea entails, you talked yourself out of it, right? Instead of just getting up and taking action because you thought about it so long, now you're thinking like, that probably wouldn't work. I probably can't do this. Oh, I don't have the resources to do that. No one would probably support me, right? My family would think that I'm crazy. I would probably lose money. I probably wouldn't make a lot of money. You've already talked yourself out of it, okay? You've already talked yourself out of good ideas, and I really hate that for you, okay? This is exactly why you need to learn how to move faster. Now, moving on to number 2, sometimes you are going to miss out on divine timing when you move too slow. And I mentioned this earlier, but I need you guys to understand. You absolutely can fumble a blessing. You absolutely can fumble a perfect opportunity. You absolutely can fumble, something that's meant for you in the moment. But because you're moving too slow, you're overlooking it. You're thinking, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And if it's right, it'll come back. And oh, I'll get something better. And that's literally causing you to move and execute slowly, right? And when you miss out on divine timing, typically you don't see that until later on, or sometimes you feel the effects up front. Sometimes you see the consequences and what you missed out on up front, right? You can miss out on divine timing when you move too slow and when you don't move with enough conviction. These are things that can definitely happen when you move too slow. And the third thing that can happen when you move too slow in terms of your life, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your friendships, success, business, your job, whatever it is, when you execute too slow, you give fear too much room to speak. And this kind of goes back to the first one of talking yourself out of good ideas, right? If you give yourself way too much time to think and analyze and pre-plan and having thoughts floating around in your head without actually putting something down on paper, you're going to give the enemy a grand opportunity to come in and talk you out of why you shouldn't be thinking about X, Y, and Z, why you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. You are going to give fear too much room to speak, and then you're going to scare yourself out of even taking action and doing it anyway. So not only are you moving slow, you have allowed fear to come in and scare you out of your ideas, scare you out of your thoughts, scare you out of your plans, scare you out of your dreams, right? All of this happens when you move slow, because think about it. People who are extremely successful and live very great lives, they always say some of the same things. Like, when I have ideas, I make myself act on them immediately. That's not to say you're going to get the whole entire project or idea completed in that moment, but when they have an idea, they're like, okay, boom, I'm thinking about it. Let me put it down on paper. Okay, boom, I'm thinking about this content idea. Let me write it down. Let me pull out this camera and record it right now. Let me get my phone, set it up, record a video right now, no matter where I am, in the car, in the library, or the grocery store, whatever. If I have a message, let me pull out my camera and start talking about it now. People who are wildly successful and do very well for themselves, they act very quick. They are no different than me or you, okay? A person who is super wealthy, a person who has built a multi-million-dollar brand, personal brand, a person that's getting brand deals and sponsorships and, big influencers and creators and different business people, they are no different than we are, right? They just execute faster from the time that they have a thought to the time that they actually act on the thought. That little window is very small, okay? And that's what's so important, and that's what you have to understand. Before you know it, your turn will get skipped, okay? You will absolutely get skipped over. If you are interviewing for a job, you can't ever think that you're the only person that this company is looking to hire. No. Guess what happens if you take too long to get back to them? They're going to skip over you and go to somebody else, right? You will be skipped and someone else will be hired. And sometimes it'll just be like, oh, well, you took too long to get back to us, right? I know there was this story on, I think, like TikTok, where this dude was talking about he got a job offer and he told them he needed like a couple of weeks, maybe like 4 to 6 weeks or something like that, to actually get himself together, tie up some loose ends. And then it came time for him to do a drug test and he didn't see it, so he didn't complete it. And then basically they rescinded the offer, and it was just like, oh, like, you took too long to do this, okay? And everybody in the comments was trying to comprehend and figure out, but it really ain't rocket science. Like, you have to move with intention. You have to move swiftly when it comes to things, okay? You can't just do things on your own time. And it's like, people don't think about stuff like that. People think that the world revolves around them. I'm here to tell you, as your reasonable, logical homegirl, the world does not revolve around you. So when you're trying to get forward and move to higher levels and do different things and explore different opportunities in your life, you're going to have to execute a lot faster, babe. And don't get me wrong, like I said earlier, I do believe in what's meant for you will never miss you, but I also believe in slow feet don't eat, okay? Slow feet don't eat. So God blesses the diligent, the persistent, and the ones who move when he gives the signal, right? We like to spend all this time praying for the things that we want, praying for opportunities, praying for him to talk to us and tell us what to do, for him to lead us. And sometimes the opportunity be right in front of our face. And what do? Completely overlook it, and we move too slow, we execute too slow. And he probably just be looking down on us like, what are you doing? Did you not just ask me to do X, Y, and Z? Did you not just ask me to move this out the way, put this puzzle piece right here so you could, oh, okay, right. When he gives the signal, he wants you to act. He doesn't want you to be one of those people who are still thinking about it. Like, imagine God telling you to do something and you respond to him and you're like, okay, I'm gonna think about it. Like, you just got the golden answer, the blueprint, the plan of what to do. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna think about it for a little while longer. Give me some time to think about it. You wouldn't do that to him. So this is how you need to start thinking about your execution and thinking about how fast you move when it comes to stuff. Because honestly, speed is really the thing that's holding a lot of y'all back. Some of y'all have it. And when I say it, I mean everything else that you need to be successful, right? And whatever it is that you want to do. But you are simply just letting speed hold you back, okay? Now, what you need to understand also is the fact that decision making really is a skill. And I've realized that a lot of people actually do struggle with making decisions, which is why it takes you so long to do stuff, because you just simply just have not decided. You have not made a decision. You are not crystal clear on what it is you want, what it is you want to do, what it is you want to accomplish, what it is, what next step you want to take next. You haven't made a decision. You haven't said, okay, boom, this is what I'm going to do. I've already decided, right? One of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my 20s is that success loves speed. And more than that, success loves decisiveness. All right. You can't be indecisive. You can't be wavering. You can't be like, oh, I don't know. I just haven't decided yet. And I still got to make a decision about that. And I still got to make a decision about this. Okay, so when you gonna do it? Like, success loves decisiveness. You have to get good at making decisions quickly. And I'm not just saying become this person who thinks about something for 0.5 seconds and then you have a decision. Like, no. You can think about things, but your decision-making process shouldn't take forever in a day. Even down to the smallest little decisions. Like, it shouldn't take you a whole day and a half to decide what you want to say back to somebody. It shouldn't take you a whole day and a half to decide, okay, how am I going to go about editing this content? Oh, if I have a problem or I don't know how to do something, it shouldn't take you a day and a half to decide and figure out how to learn how to conquer this issue, right? It shouldn't take that long. This does not mean being reckless or impulsive. It just means being confident enough to decide and move. Simple. That's all it means. Like, a lot of things we delay on could have been decided in hours and days. Like I just said, a lot of things that we have to think about and decide on, it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take you days. It doesn't take you weeks. It doesn't take you months. Like, we can just move a lot faster if we would just get clear on making certain decisions. Okay? But because we overthink, this delays the process. The more you overthink, the more indecisive you are, which means that you have not made a decision, and it's only going to take you longer to do what it is that you are trying to do. You don't need to sit and wait on the perfect time when the perfect time is now, right? I say this all the time. Why put off till tomorrow what you can do today? If you start applying it to your life, you will see a drastic change. Because a lot of things that we're just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll probably do it on Friday, a couple days from now. I'll do it next week. Why? If it's really something that you can get done now, something that you can just go and type on your computer, type on your phone, create a little graphic real quick, why not? Why not just do it now? And one of my favorite books that I've read this year is actually the 12-week year. And this book honestly breaks down the concept of moving too slow and success loving speed and being decisive very, very well. Like when I tell y'all, this is one of my favorite books that I've read this year in terms of just like speed holding you back and how you really like boss up and maneuver your life. It honestly talked about this whole entire concept perfectly. Okay, so if you haven't read that, make sure you go read it. But it's about taking what you normally try to do in a year and knocking it out in 12 weeks. So instead of 1 year being 12 months, your new year is going to be looked at as 12 weeks, which means what? Every week represents a month of time, okay? How it usually would be 1 month, 12 months is a year. Like I said, 12 weeks is your new year. So that means every week is a new month. Every week is a new month. Every week is a new month. And it forces you to move with more urgency and focus. When you cut out the fluff, which is a lot of what we have in our lives, is a whole bunch of fluff, which is why we can't get as much done because we're not focusing on getting the right things done and putting the right pieces in place. You realize you could have been way further along if you would have just moved faster with the things that you're trying to do. So this is a great book and a great resource for anybody who's trying to figure out, how can I be more effective with my time? If I want my year to completely look different in 2026, what can I start doing today? What practices can I start putting in place now? What things can I start doing to ensure that I have a much better life in all the best possible ways in 2026, okay? And once you read this book, you'll truly understand, like, wow, I've been looking at my time the wrong way. I've been looking at the things that I do with my time the complete wrong way. So make sure you go read the 12-week year, because this book will not disappoint you. And I feel like anybody who's trying to be in business, entrepreneurship, even trying to move into a new industry for your career, right? This book helps you to cut out a lot of the BS that you do on a day-to-day basis. Some stuff does not take a whole year. You can change your whole life in a matter of 6 months. You can cut down debt that you have and pay off credit card bills and all this, that, and the third in 3 months. Right? It all depends on how you are looking at your time. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into the conversation. This episode is actually sponsored by my brand, Mindful Vibes 365. If you or anyone you know are currently experiencing feelings of frustration, anxiety, depression, overstimulation, mental burnout, and just overall disconnection from God, I can guarantee you that it's time for you to reprogram your mind and vibe. And the quickest, most easiest way for you to do this is actually by fasting and detoxing from secular music. Now, as someone that did this for an entire year, I can honestly say it changed my life completely. I underwent a transformation in all areas of my life once I cut out secular music. Now, do you have to do this for an entire year? No, the transformation started weeks into my year-long fast, which is exactly why 90 days is the sweet spot. So, luckily for you guys, I created a 90-day guided workbook that's actually going to help you successfully overcome your anxiety, depression, overstimulation, mental burnout, and disconnection from God, because it's going to require you to complete a series of activities that are going to stimulate your mind and vibe every single day. This workbook is not only going to allow you to journal what's on your mind and what's your vibe for the next 90 days, it's going to help you stay on track with consuming the required productive and stimulating things that you're going to be listening to every single day. You're going to have access to recommended hand-picked sermons, audiobooks, podcasts, personal development teachings, Bible readings, gospel songs, and so much more, which are all the things that you're going to be required to listen to for the next 90 days, every single day around the clock. I can honestly go ahead and congratulate you in advance on the new person you're getting ready to become once completing this workbook, because replacing secular music with more spiritual, stimulating, productive, motivating, and uplifting tunes is going to completely change your life. So make sure you go ahead and click the link below to get a copy of your 90-day guided workbook today. I cannot wait to hear more about your transformation and the new person that you become once you complete this 90-day workbook. So congratulations again in advance. Make sure you get a copy of yours today. Click the link below. Now let's get back to the conversation. Now let's move into everyone's favorite part, which is the solutions and the tips that are going to help you move forward, live better, do better, and all of that, right? How do I build momentum and move faster, Malaysia? That's probably what you're asking right now. It's probably what you're thinking in your head. Luckily for you, I'm going to tell you how you can fix this. I'm going to tell you how you can stop moving so slow when it comes to stuff you need to do, when it comes to things that you need to execute on. How do you actually start moving faster and getting results? Let's get into it. Number one, you're going to shorten the gap between idea and action. When you get an idea, I want you to act on it immediately. No matter what it is, I just want you to get in the habit and the practice of doing this, okay? Before you talk yourself out of it, even if it's just taking the first step, start. Even if it's thinking of a new content idea, write it down, make a video about it, right then and there. Do not let yourself go the whole rest of the day or, waiting till tomorrow to get it done. When you get an idea, act on it immediately. And acting on it comes in different forms. Like I said, actually writing stuff down. Honestly, I don't even want you to put it in your phone, because when we put things in our phone, we tend to just hoard information there. Pull out you some traditional pen and paper and get to work, right? Start actually writing stuff out, writing out actual plans. Plans in your head are just plans. They'll probably never go any further than that. Okay, so we are too comfortable in this generation with just having so many thoughts just in our phones, right? If somebody go through your notes in your phone, they'll probably see stuff from freaking 2018, pre-COVID, stuff you was thinking about doing during COVID that you had so much time on your hands, you still ain't did it because it's nothing more than just a thought. Okay, so I need you to get your thoughts onto paper, and I need you to start actually executing on your ideas immediately. No matter how small, no matter how big, just start doing it. The moment you have a thought of, I need to make up my bed, I need to clean up my house, don't go hours and not do it. If you're at home and you have the means to get up and do it, why not make up your bed right now in the moment that you're thinking about the fact that you need to do it? Okay, this can apply to everything in your life, right? Moving into number 2, stop letting fear make your schedule, okay? Fear is going to always tell you to wait. Fear is going to always whisper in your ear like, no, not right now. You're not ready. You're not prepared. You don't have the money. You don't have the resources. You don't have the time. You don't have the means to do X, Y, and Z, right? Faith tells you to move, okay? You'll never feel 100% ready to do something. And that's really something that I have learned, and a concept that I've grasped in my 20s, that you will never feel 100% ready. Even this podcast, I could have started this podcast years ago, the moment that I thought about it, because there were so many different things that I have always wanted to talk about. I've always pretty much made content and posted different messages and talked about different things. And it was just like, if I would have acted on it back then, where would I be now? Right? I'm not worried about the past, and I'm not concerning myself so much with the past, but it's honestly a real thing. It's like, yeah, if you would have executed on this a lot sooner when you actually thought about it, instead of being scared of what? Judgment or it flopping or it not getting traction. Like, whether you decide to do something, you have to understand that time is going to move anyway. Time is going to pass by anyway. So even if you're just thinking about something and you don't do it, guess what's still happening? Time is still passing you right on by. Move anyway. Stop being scared. You're probably scared of rejection. You're probably scared of failure. You might be scared of judgment from other people. Oh my gosh, people are going to see me doing this thing, and people are going to know that I'm making content and posting videos, and they're going to see me. That's so scary. Do it anyway. Okay? Do it scared. Do it nervous. Do it anyway. All right? Number 3, I want you to focus on execution more than you focus on perfection. This is me talking to myself as a perfectionist. One thing that I have learned is that perfection is really just an excuse to procrastinate, honestly. And that's really because you're scared of doing whatever it is you're thinking about doing. So you procrastinate, and you're procrastinating because you're scared. Focus on doing. I don't want you to focus on being perfect. Your first video is not going to be perfect. Do it anyway. Execute now, right? Your first wig that you're going to make is not going to be perfect. Don't focus on that. Execute now. Your first webinar that you host, your first meeting, your first event that you're going to host is not going to be perfect. Do it now. Your first fitness video of workouts that you do at the gym because you want to become a fitness influencer is not going to be perfect. Doesn't matter. Do it now. You have to understand and just say like, hey, I'm going to focus more on execution than perfection, because perfection is holding you back. You want things oh so perfect, but think about it. If you were perfect 1000% of the time, or you were perfect starting out something, right? There would be no room for growth. Like, you wouldn't know how to improve and get better with doing something if you was just perfect out the gate. That's not how it works. Do you think Beyonce was perfect when she first hit the scene? No. Was she super talented? Absolutely. Did she have to learn how to sing and dance and be super coordinated and hit these certain notes when she was dancing certain moves and stuff like that, right? It took time. You don't just come to the scene being 1000% perfect. So you need to just erase that delusion and illusion that you've created and focus on executing over perfection. And number 4, which is the last tip that I have for you guys, I want you to simply just create more urgency in your life, right? I know that sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in thinking like, oh, I have time. I have plenty of time. I can do this a year from now, and then 5 years from now, and 10 years from now, this is where I'll be. Okay. You don't know how long you have on this earth. So therefore, I want you to start creating more urgency. Move like every day is a day that you appreciate. And at the end of your day, start asking yourself, like, did I have a day that I'm proud of? Period. I want you to set shorter deadlines. Something that you set a deadline for 3 months, how about you make it 1 month? Something that you set a deadline for, or I'm going to plan to have this done in 3 weeks, how about you have it done in a week? Challenge yourself to get things done today. The longer you give yourself, the slower you are going to move. I know some people have this logic of like, okay, well, I'm going to have a deadline for this, and I work well under pressure, and I work well at the last minute, and I don't know, I just can't seem to get things done quickly. You're going to have to get over that. You're going to have to work through that. And I need you to just be honest and realistic with yourself that is dumb and it doesn't make any sense. Okay. The longer you give yourself to do something, the slower you are going to move, because you're not moving with a sense of urgency. You don't feel like it's super important for you to lock in and do it and execute and get it done now. Speed creates energy, and that energy creates momentum. When it comes to knocking out your goals, your plans, your dreams, the things that you want to do, you have to have momentum. You got to keep the ball rolling. Okay. So you need to create that sense of urgency in your life. Like, hey, why do I need to be thinking about getting this done in a year when I can knock this out in 6 months? Hey, why do I need to be thinking about getting this piece of content out next week when I can really finish editing and get this out this week? Okay. The sooner, the better, right? So I want you all to stop feeling like you have so much time and stop being so relaxed about your life. Create some urgency. Like, come on, lock in. Let's go. What are you doing? Right? You don't have all this time. You don't have the time that you think you have. You don't know how much time you have. If we being honest, nobody knows how much time they have. So do what you can with the time that you have. Be more effective with your time. Like I said, shorten the gap between your ideas and your actions. Stop letting fear make your schedule and focus on execution over perfection. Okay. And all of these things will truly help you to start moving faster and hitting the targets that you are aiming for a lot quicker in your life, right? It's not that you're incapable. It's not that you don't have the skills. It's not that you're lacking anything. Speed is literally the only thing that is holding you back right now. You simply just move too slow. Okay. So at the end of the day, y'all, slow progress is still progress. However, let's just be honest, keep it a book and call a spade a spade. Some of y'all are not even progressing because you're not doing anything. You're just letting thoughts stay in your head. You're just staying in the thinking stage. You're procrastinating beautifully. That's the thing that you're doing. You are doing something. You're procrastinating. You can do that very well, right? So this week, I want you guys to be mindful of your pace. I want you to be mindful of your actions. I want you to be mindful of your urgency. And I just want you to pay attention to how long it takes you to go from I should to I did. I should do this, or I need to do this, to yes, I got this done. I did it. I'm done with this. Finally got that over with. Pay attention. Okay, this is your homework from me to you this week. I want you to just be mindful of how you are going about things this week, okay? Every week, every day is an opportunity to be 1% better than yesterday. And remember, y'all, success doesn't just require faith. You can't just rely on God to come in and bless you and do everything for you, right? And just give you everything in the palm of your hands without doing any work. No, God blesses the diligent, okay? So he wants you to actually put in work. He wants you to actually get up, get moving, and execute, right? He wants you to move. God blesses movement. So that's what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, while you're still thinking about doing something, somebody else done already did it. Okay? Somebody else has already passed you up. And it's not a competition, but it's just what it is. That's just honest. The things that you're thinking about doing, somebody is doing it right now and they're getting it done. And it's not taking them long to do it because they're simply just like, you know what? I'm not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. I might not have everything I need, but I'm going to get started on the process at least. So if you stay to the very end of this episode, first and foremost, thank you so much for your support. And also, I really hope you guys took away some practical tips and things that you can reflect on and some things that you can actually act on, okay? We are growing every single day. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. There's so many exciting things that are coming with this podcast. And I hope that you guys can have a very mindful day, a very mindful week. Remember to act with urgency, okay? It's not that you don't have the skills. It's not that you're not capable. It's not that God hasn't blessed you with the resources. You are simply just moving too slow, okay? So make sure you share this with somebody who could probably benefit from this conversation. And I just look forward to building my tribe and really continuing to grow this podcast each and every single day, one episode at a time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all on the very next episode. Bye.